The best way to live life and the best way to stay positive is expecting and preparing for negativity to happen in your life. And you're probably thinking to yourself, how does that work? How does that make any sense? And I'm about to tell you. For example, a bit dark, but not real, hopefully. If one person's mum dies out of nowhere, suddenly out of the blue, you're going to be extremely shocked, making you extremely sad. But let's say if another person's mum has been diagnosed with cancer, hopefully, once again, not true, right? At least you're expecting and preparing for her to pass away someday. So when the time does come and she does pass away, you'll be very less shocked, meaning you're very less sad compared to the other guy. It's the shock of what happens that makes you feel worse in reality. Being negatively shocked affects your sadness badly. So if we don't have to go through that first stage, the shocked stage, and can prepare for the absolute worst no matter what happens, we won't be as surprised when the negative event actually does happen. A big example for me being like the amount of people that have done me wrong in my life and have disrespected me before for no reason. Like, especially in the later years, because I expect negativity beforehand, not necessarily thinking and knowing it was going to happen, but just getting ready for it. When it does actually happen, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, saw that coming, and get on with my day. Like, I'm just completely fine. And this probably makes you think, but isn't that a sad way to live life if you're always thinking something bad's gonna happen? And the answer to your question is no, because if you're actually listening to the video with your ears, I actually never said that. Play it back.
Because I expect negativity beforehand, not necessarily thinking and knowing it was going to happen.
There's a difference between knowing something's going to happen 100% with absolutely no chance of it not happening in your mind, than just preparing for something negative to happen, just in case it actually does happen, so you can defend yourself better mentally or physically, depending on what the situation is. Overall, it just makes bad situations affect you less than the normal average person, and it just makes you manage your emotions easier. So instead of avoiding thinking negatively and blocking it all out completely, so when something bad does happen, you overreact like a little fucking bitch and complain about it. Literally just have that tiny thought at the back of your mind. Doesn't have to be big, just a tiny thought at the back of your mind. And it's not even a bad thought that you have at the back of your mind. It's just the fact that whether it's in 10 minutes or 10 years, whatever the situation is, I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be just fine, right? Just have that thought at the back of your head. And it's not even a negative thought, it's a positive thought. If something bad happens, I'm gonna be chilling, I'm gonna be living because I expect and prepare for it. And for me personally, that's the best way to live life. When you just have that thought at the back of your head that if something wrong happens, you can fix it quickly. That's the best way to live life. Expecting the worst. It sounds negatively when you just hear like the first sentence I said, the best way to live life is expecting negativity. Just saying that sounds negative, but when I actually break it down and explain it to you, it's actually more of a positive than a negative if you actually have an open mind and hear me out. So a final example to end up the video. Why do you think the Tate brothers did so well mentally in prison? Because they saw it coming and expected it, just like everything else that happened to him. Them getting cancelled, they thought it would happen. Them getting locked up in prison, they thought it would happen. Them getting killed by the Matrix, they think it would happen. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen, right? But the point is, if they didn't expect to go to prison and just thought, yeah, I'm never gonna go to prison, I could just do what I want, I'm not gonna go to prison. Why would they lock me up for no reason? They wouldn't do that. If they thought that, right, 100%, then that shock when they do actually get locked up would affect them, creating the spiral effect of extreme sadness. So that is why they did better in prison than the average person, right? Keep this video in mind if you struggle to deal with negativity and struggle to deal with bad things happening to you. Thank you boys for watching, as always, and peace. Love.